So in today's topic, session 6, which is our last session, we will be covering internet safety. So the learning objectives for internet safety are to firstly examine the techniques and technologies to prevent cyberbullying, to understand how the techniques are put into practice, and to be able to enforce various techniques at schools and home. Okay, so firstly, this is something that we didn't cover in the first session. So to prevent bullying, we need to firstly spot the signs of cyberbullying. So some of the signs that the victim becomes upset after using or during the internet or mobile phone, that could be a sign of bullying. Appearing anxious when receiving a text message or email, refusing to go to school or certain lessons, showing different moods, showing signs of depression, and avoid discussions and very secretive about computer or mobile phone activities. So again, that might be signs of cyberbullying that could prevent it from happening. So there are a range of techniques to prevent cyberbullying. So as I covered on our last session, on social networking sites there are various privacy settings to avoid unknown people to access your profile. There is a privacy page that I would like all of you to visit, so I'll put the link on there on the PowerPoint. It just covers the data use policy. It is very helpful, and it'll show you basically what that enables you to do when you are on Facebook, and what rights you have as well. That's very useful. So something I'd like to discuss is using filters. Filter or monitoring software is a great way to prevent cyberbullying. Safeguarding programs or options the online service provider may offer might filter inappropriate sites. Parents should limit what their children should search, therefore friendly search engines that will filter any type of networking system. A very common way to filter these keywords is to use Google Filter. So as you can see from the screenshot, Google now has filters which enable you to search for certain keywords only. Majority of parents use such filters to ensure that children are not exposed to explicit imagery. So this is helpful if there's not certain keywords that the parents want them to see, then it is always good to put these keywords on there via Google Filter. So how to deal with abuse on social networking sites. So social networking sites such as Facebook, Twitter, firstly you could ignore people. You could use the report button, you can contact the provider and block the bully, so there is always a report abuse on most of these sites. For instant messenger, I would say try and use the ignore function button, and so that's what cyberbullies would bully victims can do. This for chat rooms, forums and blogs, again you could use the report function and have messages or comments deleted. Emails, delete any unwanted emails and put the bully's email address in the spam folder. The up-to-date antivirus program, there's also an antivirus program which enable users to block malicious viruses that may access information. Antivirus software must always be set to active scanning. It's always meant to be set to that, so it does detect any suspicious information or imagery while downloading attachments. Through this software, students and bully victims can ensure that no one has access to their personal details. And it's always great to have passwords. So for bully victims, this will always ensure that computers have passwords, and passwords are strong enough. So you might find when you do sign up to certain websites, they will tell you when the password is weak and when it is strong. So it's always to try in a couple of attempts until it stays password strong. With some modern operating systems, it also allows users to use passphrases instead of passwords, phrases such as "I would like a big house." So that would be a bit harder to crack rather than a normal password setting. So social networking sites. Social networking sites now enable users to adapt their settings to prevent cyberbullies from accessing their profile, as we said earlier. Social networking sites also enable users to keep certain imagery private. So if you have a particular friend you don't trust, you may decide to give them limited access. The following links on the next slide will show you how you can report abuse on each of the different sites. These links are very useful and I would like you to look at each of the links. So with PCs and Mac, so for Windows PC, the parental control panel sets levels which students and parents can think are appropriate. However, these changes can only be made if the individual is set up as the main administrator. So say if you're a guest user, you wouldn't be able to make them changes. On Mac PCs, the parental controls are valid in the system preferences. So as we talked about from the previous session, I said we'll go into detail with the comprehensive plan. So this strategy was introduced in the previous session. As I said earlier, we will now discuss this into detail. The strategy is used to change the social norms of these online activities, whilst also discouraging cyberbullies from engaging in such activities that may cause others harm. Okay, so let's talk about the comprehensive plan in a bit more detail. Firstly, the plan is split up in 7 stages. You'd firstly engage in the planning, so districting technology awareness, integrating into safe schools. You then conduct needs assessment, so who is responsible of the internet use. Ensuring anti-bullying programs are in place, so you'd come up with them intervention skills, so you'd need them skills in order to put these programs into place. Reviewing policies and procedures, so again making use of the monitor and using the report abuse box as we mentioned earlier. Conducting professional understanding, so educating people in basic understanding of technology and how not to use it, so that would be quite valid, especially in schools, and quite useful. Provide parent education, so it's always good to give parents and educate them around an understanding of technology and intervention and detecting cyberbullying. And lastly, evaluate, so you can look at the prevention programs as we discussed and see whether they are successful, and you can test them out on certain users. This is a good plan. So with the comprehensive plan, the plan is utilised to educate students in technology, whilst also educating students enables parents to make discussions on how they can control cyberbullying from taking place. The plan intends to explore the nature of the problem, come up with a solution, then implement that solution. This can be seen as an honour code to identify cyberbullying as an example of inappropriate behaviour. And you've also got disclosure online. So in this session we've looked at some ways in which users can stay offline. However, it is concerning that thousands of databases may have people's private information which they have accessed via social networking sites. So having said this, I would like all students to think about this question and discuss the question in detail in our online session. So are you concerned that a lot of people have access to your information via these databases? So having said that, we're going to have a look at a bit about what researchers have found. So what they found is parents must establish rules with children about appropriate use of technology. For example, parents must be clear about what technology children are permitted to use and educate them on how to be safe online. Parents must also encourage children to think about who they want the information and pictures they post online. So as you can see, that link below, which is www.stopbullying.gov, it's a very useful link which looks at how to stop cyberbullying. So I would expect all of you students to visit that link. So, what does the law say about cyberbullying? Although cyberbullying is not a prosecuted criminal offence, a variety of legal actions can be taken, such as publishing videos or images without permission. So, some of these can come under a criminal offence. So, we've got personal rights to one's own images, persistent harassment via email. So, there are some anti-stalking laws that may apply to that. Spreading false blogs, forums, or social networking profiles so victims can obtain injunctions or make a criminal complaint. So when it comes to cyberbullying, there are a lot of people that are not aware of the rights. These are some of the acts that I have covered. I haven't explained this into detail as I have put a link up on the Moodle page which does go into internet safety for you as well. So these are some of the acts. It would be good for you guys to search up on these acts. So just as a summary, although cyberbullying is a serious issue, it can be stopped by effective email or web security technologies, as was mentioned. It can also be done by using filtering tools. So we looked at obviously that Google filter tool. Critical filtering tools are an effective way to prevent victims at home and in school settings. And there was also a software called WatchGuard XCS. That's a way to stop cyberbullying from taking place on a particular network.